Ah, the 80s. It was a time where life was optimistic, movies were great, Ninja Turtles lived in the sewers, and arcades dominated the gaming scene. Yes, the arcades. The heart and blood of gaming, where countless gamers spent their hard-earned cash on games that were mostly impossible to beat. However, amongst all the Pac-Mans and Altered Beasts, there was a mysterious arcade game hiding in the darkened corner. Polybius. A shoot-'em-up that apparently caused players to go insane and suffer intense stress, horrific nightmares, and suicidal tendencies.
Sounds pretty creepy, but could such a game even exist? Let's delve in and see if we can find out. According to the story, Polybius first made his appearance in several suburbs of Portland, Oregon in 1981. The game proved to be incredibly addictive and had countless people lining up to play this fascinating game.
Apparently, this was even followed by visits from Men in Black, who took unspecified data from the machine, allegedly testing public responses to the game.
Responses which included amnesia, insomnia, nightmares, night terrors, and even suicides. Apparently, Polybius was such a nightmarish game that it caused some players to stop playing video games forever, while another became an anti-gaming activist.
So how could such a game do this? In fact, what kind of game was Polybius anyway?
Well, according to popular opinion, it's similar to Tempest, a shoot-'em-up released by Atari in 1981 that utilized vector graphics. Also, according to popular opinion, the creator of Polybius is Ed Rotberg, best known for working on many Atari games such as Asteroids, Centipede, and the previously mentioned Tempest. The company he worked for to make this game was, excuse my mispronunciation, Sinneslöschen, which is clearly German, which people believe was either a codename for Atari or a secret government organization.
However, when Ed Rotberg was questioned about his involvement with Polybius, he denied it all, stating he never saw, heard, or worked on this game. Surprisingly, the real maker of this game would be later revealed, a man going by the name of Stephen Roach.
On March 20th, 2006, Stephen Roach made a post on CoinUp explaining his involvement with the game. He claims he was approached in the 1980s by a Southern American company to develop a new, exciting arcade game with a puzzle element. Him and 3 other amateur programmers forming the company Sinneslöschen got together to work on the game. He goes on further to explain that the game was given a limited release in Portland, Oregon, to test it out and see if it was worthy for international distribution.
Are we pronouncing the words right?
I hope so.
The actual game itself apparently involved protecting your moon base against waves of enemy aliens. The aliens themselves were numbered, and the puzzle element involved shooting specific enemies to achieve a desired number total at the end of the level.
For instance, say to beat the level you needed a score of 20. You would have to shoot the right number of aliens in order to reach that specific score. Anyway, the game was pulled out of arcades when a 13-year-old boy suffered an epileptic fit while playing the game, only 6 days after the machine had been installed.
Stephen Roach believes it was the explosion of the moon base that instigated the fit.
The mother of the child complained at the company and settled the disagreement out of court, meaning no legal or first-hand account evidence exists to look back on, which is indeed disappointing.
While Mr. Roach's story seems to finally clear up the mystery of Polybius, there are still many questions that linger on. What does Steve Roach look like? What is he doing now? Who are the identities of the 13-year-old boy and his mother? And finally, if this game really did exist, why does there seem to be a lack of first-hand experiences from it?
Since the interview with Mr. Roach, our Sinneslöschen website went online on July 20th, 2007, and offered a freeware Polybius game in cabinet art for download. It was created using dark basic software and featured gameplay and graphics based on the interview with Stephen Roach.
So if gamers actually want to give it a go, they can download the freeware download.
Yeah, well, the interpretation of it. Still, to actually have evidence of a physical Polybius arcade cabinet would be fantastic, but it's a shame none exists.
Well, apparently that's not the case, as in 2011, a machine was found in Newport, Oregon's storage locker. It was uploaded by an Instagram user called Barcade, and besides 6 comments, including Barcade stating that the photo is indeed real, there is no other information.
Other bloggers have another story. They believe that the game is an urban legend, grew out of exaggerated and distorted tales of an early version of Tempest, which caused epilepsy, motion sickness, and vertigo, resulting in the game getting pulled. Whatever the case, it's hard to determine whether Polybius is real or fake until some cold, hard, unbeatable evidence comes our way. If we had the time and resources, we would go out and try and find this game ourselves. Until then, Polybius remains an enigma, labeling this mystery inconclusive.
Well, that's it for now, but stay tuned for the next video game mystery where Dexter Morrison will take on the Tails Doll curse.
Yes, to be honest, this video was surprisingly serious. There was not a single joke. But then again, there's nothing to laugh about by Polybius.